We recorded it in London probably about 18 months ago now, and it's taken quite a long time to come together. Obviously there's a lot that goes into producing a single and the remix package and everything that accompanies that, but yeah, it's been a long process and quite enjoyable.
Good for you. And I mean, what's it like working with Kimberly? I mean, she won Celebrity MasterChef.
Yeah, she's a really great personality. Obviously, she's got a long heritage in the music industry anyway, working with the Pussycat Dolls and people like Nicole Scherzinger. And she's also had success on her own with Agro Santos and her own single. So to work with someone like that is a real good thing to do, and quite good for my career as well as a DJ. It's a real good platform and a good contact to make.
It's a great achievement for you as well, really well done. And also you said that you've collaborated with Mattia from the Sugar Babes.
Yeah.
So who else have you collaborated with?
Several people really, a lot of dance music kind of icons, Catherine Ellis, Maria Naylor, Sonic. There's quite a lot of big names in the industry that I've worked with, as well as up-and-coming names like Vicky Jackson, people like that are kind of coming through on the dance music scene and really kind of making a name for themselves.
And how did you break into this industry? Because it's quite competitive, I believe.
Yeah, it's a really competitive industry. I've been involved in dance music from a very early age. Started collecting records when I was kind of very young, and then progressed from that into being a club DJ. I mean, I started DJing in my bedroom when I was very young and kind of took it from there. And now DJ across the country every weekend pretty much. So.
Insane. And what are the hours like exactly?
You're probably fast asleep when I'm out at work.
Right, yeah.
Friday nights and Saturday nights I'm usually out till kind of 4 o'clock in the morning at the earliest. So yeah, that's
quite something.
Yeah.
And I believe you're collaborating with the Stereo Kicks, or a few members.
Yeah, Chris from the Stereo Kicks. I'm going to be in the studio. We're writing a song at the moment, which hopefully will be the follow-up to the track with Kimberly Wyatt. So I've written the song and the lyrics and the music, and we'll be in the studio on Monday recording that.
And where do you find the inspiration behind the lyrics? I mean, how do they come to you? Do they come to you easily, or?
Usually with lyrics, it's a case of writing from past experiences, or it could be inspiration from other artists. I'm particularly influenced by DJs like Calvin Harris, David Guetta, people like that, that are the more mainstream crossover artists. But I get inspiration from all kinds of places, so it's a kind of melting pot of ideas, really.
And how long does it take to actually, make the single, then it goes on to get released? And
yeah, well, initially I made the track with Kimberly Wyatt, as I say, last year. Then we get together a remix package. On this one, I was really lucky. I had a guy called Stonebridge remix the track. He's produced one of the most iconic dance records of all time, Robin S, Show Me Love. He was responsible for producing that. So it's kind of from the start concept point to actually being released, it's quite a lengthy process, probably 18 months or so. Well, the DJ has evolved from what it used to be. It's no longer a kind of person that just plays records. DJs are more artists these days, so you're responsible for crafting your own music, as well as selecting, individual tunes that are going to work really well in a club. And a DJ will use the equipment that's in the club to produce almost a piece of original work, basically. So a DJ set is not just kind of like an 80s disco, it's a far more crafted performance, and obviously DJs now earn thousands and thousands of pounds, people at the top of their game. I mean, obviously Calvin Harris is the highest paid DJ in the world at the moment. I think he's earning about £80 million a year DJing, and with his other contracts and things like that. So it's not small-time disco anymore, it is a real kind of step towards mega stardom, and if you achieve that, then you can really go right to the top. DJing in a club involves a lot of pressure, and if you are performing, then you select the music. You have to mix, you have to have mixing skills. So you're listening to the music that is going on in the club at the time, and then selecting the next record that you want to play, making sure that's in time with the one that's currently playing in your headphones, and mix them together seamlessly, hopefully.
Wow, there's quite a lot involved there.
Yeah.
And you mentioned Calvin Harris. Is he one of your idols that you really
Yeah,
look
I
up
mean,
to?
he's roughly the same age as me. He's done a lot of really big things, worked with, you know, some huge people in the industry.
Yeah.
Started out, you know, his British DJ. There aren't that many British DJs succeeding at that level anymore. He's one of very few. So the majority of DJs that are internationally famous are European, you know, Swedish, and from that kind of area of Europe. So it's quite unique to have someone like Calvin Harris, who's Scottish and achieving really, really highly in the dance music industry.
It is indeed. And if you had the opportunity to collaborate with anybody, who would it be and why?
There's all kinds of people that I'm really a fan of. I mean, people like Ella Eyre is a real inspiration. At the moment, her voice is fantastic. Emily Sandé, they're the people that I currently admire, although there's a lot of historic and kind of older artists as well, like Lisa Stansfield, and you know, all kinds of people that I really, really like their voice and would like to produce.
And how would you go about, say, contacting them in order to ask for a collaboration? How does this happen?
Well, with the dawn of social media, it's a lot easier to get in contact with people that used to be or seemingly be out of reach. So you can contact people on Twitter, MySpace, and any kind of new up-and-coming DJs. It's really quite easy for them to make those steps relatively simply just by contacting people on Twitter or contacting their management on Twitter.
And so where do you see yourself in a couple of years' time? What's the main ambition?
Well, I'd really, really like to have a top 40 record. I've been very close quite a few times with my music. I've had a lot of support on Radio 1 and various radio stations. My club DJing, I would like to kind of maintain that at the same level, if not go up higher and higher, and just keep carrying on doing what I'm doing, really.
And what number have you got to in the charts?
I've not had a top 40 yet. I've had, there's a dance chart, which is the kind of chart that the club DJs go by, and I've had 3 top 10s in that.